Hey there, friends! My name is Desiree, aka Momma Friendly, and I'm trying something a little different this year when it comes to our homeschooling. All of the main information is going to be found in the very first video of this series, which I'll link up here in case you've missed it. But the Cliff's Notes version is that I've been homeschooling my son his entire life. He's 9 years old and on the autism spectrum. He has nonverbal autism along with a few other medical diagnoses. My son also has a complete and absolute undying love for all things Disney, much like his mama. So this year I thought it would be fun to give our unit studies a little bit of a Disney twist. So every 2 weeks this year we're going to start a new unit study based on a Disney ride, movie, character, etc. We're going to be doing our academic work around that theme, but also at least one cooking activity and at least one art activity. So in these videos, I want to show you guys some of the things that we do to fit the theme, and I have a Pinterest board pertaining to each of the themes. And so along with every single one of these videos, there's going to be a link in the description box to that particular theme's Pinterest board. So make sure that you check those out because I am only showing you some of the things that we're getting into every week, but the board is going to have more activities and also activities for kids of different ages and different abilities. So with all that being said, let's get into our theme. One, two. Okay, but look, let's connect them. And go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay, can we connect these two right here? Like this? Wow, look at that, you made a crab! Wow, nice crab. How about this? Here, hold it like that. C for crab, like tamatoa. Wow, those are nice C's. So I wanted to take this opportunity to tell you guys about an app called Reading IQ. I want to say it's like $30 for the year for like the all access version. I wish I had some sort of a promo code or discount code to share with you guys, but Reading IQ doesn't seem to do that. However, I really like this app because there's a huge database of books that you can access, and it's you can organize it by age level, you can organize it by theme, you can organize it by Disney books specifically, which I think is pretty great, and there's loads and loads of them. And some of the books even have a read to me feature, so you can either read the books with your kiddos, or if they're playing independently, you can get these books and put them in their bookshelf, quote unquote, so they can get to them whenever they want, and the app actually reads the book to your kid. So I think it's a really cool way to kind of get kiddos interested in reading if they're more of the techie kind and they're kind of attached to their tablet. They're like not even realizing that they're reading and having fun, learning vocabulary, learning word recognition, etc. So if you haven't tried Reading IQ, again, not Spawn. I wish I could give you guys some sort of a code or something, but it doesn't seem to exist. I still think it's a great app and I really recommend it. Alright friends, so usually during these videos I like to show you guys different rides or attractions where you can find the character or the theme that we are studying. And unfortunately right now Moana is slim pickings at the park. Sometime in the year 2021 we're going to get Moana's Journey of Water, which was announced at D23 2019, but then of course COVID happened, so construction has been slowed down. If you are just hearing about this for the first time, it's going to be a walkthrough attraction, so not a ride per se, but a lush trail that you can walk through and play with water. Living water is, I think, the way that they described it. So all we have right now is concept art and the vague description of a 2021 opening, but no firm date yet. Here's some of the concept art, and I'm going to post this link to this article that I'm showing you right now in the description box below in case you want to read the whole thing yourself. So if you're just now hearing about this for the first time, the Future World area of Epcot, which makes up at least half of the park, is going to be completely renovated and turned into 3 neighborhoods. One of them is going to be called World Nature, I believe, and that's where Moana's Journey of Water is going to be. And here's a little sort of concept poster, and you can see that there's water just bouncing around over the families. The only bit of this that has me a little concerned in my nostalgic mind is that if you've been to Epcot before, you know that when you leave Figment and near where the Captain EO ride used to be, now it's like a Pixar First Glance type situation, like a theater. They have fountains there, and the reverse waterfall, the waterfall that flows up, they've had that there since I was a kid. I have a lot of really great memories as like a toddler even playing in those living fountains. And if they're going to shut those down to incorporate it into this, I have mixed feelings about it. Obviously, I'd rather they incorporate it into a new attraction than just do away with them altogether. But is that what that means? Are they closing that? So I don't know. There's not a whole lot of information on this right now. But like I said, whatever information I do find, I will link below so you guys can check it out for yourselves. And obviously this is going to be evolving as we find out more and as we maybe get a date for the opening. This video, which I will also link below, is the only evidence I found of Moana herself in the parks. And apparently, at least as of April 2021, she's part of one of the Magic Kingdom cavalcades. So you can't meet and greet with her just yet, but she does have a presence in the parks somewhere for now while we wait for her attraction to open at Epcot. So this week I'm sharing 2 recipes with you all that I thought would fit the theme. When I think where would Moana of Motunui want to eat at Disney World, my first thought is Ohana at the Polynesian Resort. And Ohana has a breakfast buffet and a dinner buffet, or at least they did pre-COVID. And one of the most popular things that they serve at the dinner buffet are these stir-fried noodles. So I wanted to make a gluten, dairy, soy-free version so my son and I could enjoy it. And here's all the ingredients that we're gonna need for this recipe. So you need a tablespoon of canola oil, a tablespoon each of pureed garlic and ginger, a 1/4 cup of red pepper and 1/4 cup of pineapple julienne, 2 cups of cooked udon noodles, but I'm using these rice pad thai noodles because they're naturally gluten-free, salt and pepper to taste, and a teaspoon of chopped roasted peanuts. That's everything that you're gonna need for the stir-fry portion, but in the meantime, I'm gonna go ahead and cook my noodles. I made 2 packages. I had bought 3 in case, but I think 2 was plenty. And I'm going to start with the peanut sauce that's gonna bring everything together. For this peanut sauce, you need 2 cloves of garlic peeled, a 2-inch piece of ginger peeled, 1/2 cup of peanut butter. I just used the regular creamy kind. And then you'll need a 1/4 cup each of soy sauce, a 1/4 cup of sugar, 1/4 cup of water. Instead of soy sauce, we're using coconut aminos because we do not eat soy in this house. You need 1/8 of a cup of diced Spanish onion and a tablespoon of chopped peanuts. And the peanut sauce comes together super easily. You just put all of those ingredients I just listed into a saucepan, bring everything to a boil, and stir it all up. Turn the heat down to simmer and just stir it occasionally so that nothing burns or sticks. After about 10 minutes, you can remove it from the heat and either pour it in a blender or use an immersion blender. Pulse until smooth and your sauce is ready to go. I actually boiled the noodles and made the sauce the night before to kind of save time. In retrospect, I probably should have waited to boil the noodles till the day of, but it turned out all right. You'll see. So to start on the other part of this plate, we're gonna make a chicken pineapple dish. And this is a crock pot recipe, but I decided to switch it up and do it in the Instant Pot so it would be faster. I waited for the next day because we were waiting on one of the ingredients, which was pineapple jam. It should have been much easier to find, seeing as we live in a place with a lot of Hispanic markets, but we had a really hard time. I ended up ordering it from Amazon. It never came. Long story short, we omitted it. But I am going to put a link to the full recipe in the description box of this video so that if you are able to find it easier than I did, you can go ahead and include it. In the meantime, we are using a 20-ounce can of pineapple chunks drained, but keep the juice because you're going to need it. Half a cup of ketchup, a third of a cup of soy sauce, but we're using coconut aminos as before. A third of a cup of brown sugar packed, 2 tablespoons of rice wine vinegar, 1 tablespoon of lime juice, a tablespoon of sesame oil, 1 to 2 tablespoons of Asian chili garlic sauce. This stuff right here at the front, so good. 2 cloves of garlic that have been peeled and finely minced, 2 teaspoons of ground ginger, salt, pepper, a tablespoon of olive oil, 1 3/4 to 2 pounds of boneless, skinless chicken breast. I'm using thighs because I prefer them. I think that they have more flavor. A third of a cup of cornstarch, which I also omitted, but it would help to give the chicken more texture and to give the sauce more body. So if that's something that you're looking for, by all means. 3 tablespoons of cilantro leaves for garnishing and 3 tablespoons of green onions for garnishing. So in the meantime, I've gone and drained the juice from the can of pineapples into this bowl. That's also where you'd add the pineapple jam if you could find it. And we're also going to put in our ketchup, our soy sauce or coconut aminos, brown sugar, rice wine vinegar, lime juice, sesame oil, chili garlic sauce, garlic, ginger, salt, and pepper all into this bowl. Whisk it to combine. This is going to be the liquid that our chicken cooks in. So, like I said, whisk it up, set it aside. With a little bit of Disney magic, my chicken thighs are cut up into bite-sized pieces. If you were going to use cornstarch, now would be the time that you would put cornstarch into a Ziploc bag, toss your chicken in there so you can give it a nice coat. Like I said, this will give the chicken a little bit more texture, and as the cornstarch kind of cooks into the sauce, it helps to thicken it up. I didn't find that we needed it. I couldn't find the cornstarch anyways, so it is what it is. So once you've done that step, assuming you're gonna do it, you can add your chicken to your slow cooker, or like I said, I'm using an Instant Pot. Same thing, except, you know, you could do it for 5 or 6 hours in the slow cooker, or you could do it for half an hour in the Instant Pot. I opted for faster. Throw your chicken into the pot, add those pineapple chunks that you set aside earlier. And last but not least, go ahead and throw that sauce that we made with the ketchup and soy sauce and pineapple juice, etc. over the chicken. Make sure the chicken is nice and evenly covered. And we're going to cook this, like I said, either in a slow cooker, high for 2 hours, or low for 4 hours. Or you could do it the way I did, which was Instant Pot, pressure cooking. It took 35 minutes and it was done. Worked well for me. So when the chicken was basically done cooking and we were just waiting for the pressure to dwindle down on its own, I decided to start the stir fry for the noodles so that everything would be ready at the same time. So for the stir fry, you're going to need those original ingredients we talked about. A tablespoon of canola oil, and in this hot pan or hot wok is what I'm using, you want to throw in a teaspoon of garlic and a teaspoon of ginger. It says to use pureed. I didn't have that, so I just used, you know, finely minced as I could get it. Then you need a 1/4 cup each of julienned red pepper and julienned pineapple. Again, my knife skills are awful, so I just kind of did what I could here. In went the block of noodles. Again, if I'd waited until the day of, I wouldn't have had such a hard time with this. The fact that they're gluten-free means that the texture kind of lended itself to kind of glue up like this and become a brick basically of noodles. It ended up working out fine, but it would have been much better if I'd waited until the day of and just thrown the noodles fresh from the pot into the stir fry. So you're going to season with salt and pepper to taste, stir fry until the noodles are heated through, and then add about a 1/2 cup of the peanut sauce we made the day before to glaze the ingredients. When you're going to serve it, you just crush some nuts on top and garnish it. Then you can garnish your chicken with some of that cilantro and green onion. Oh my goodness, these recipes were so yummy. They were so good together. I didn't think the peanuts and ginger and all that was gonna work, but wow, definitely will be making this again. And the last thing I want to share with you all today is our art project for the week, which was super simple but a lot of fun. For this, you're just going to need some cellophane. I've got a whole pack here that I got on Amazon super cheap, some white paper, some contact paper, and some scissors. So first, Mama is going to cut kind of a swirl pattern. I did my best to do an oval shape with a swirl pattern throughout, because what we're going to make right now is a sun catcher, and we're using the heart of Te Fiti as inspiration. So if your kiddos can do this themselves, by all means, but I thought it'd be easier and faster to just do it myself and then let my kiddo kind of go wild on the cellophane part. You might want to make sure all of your materials are cut up and ready first, not like I did, but the next step was I cut out 2 equal sheets of contact paper, and it is contact paper, so it will be sticky. Make sure you get the clear kind for the purposes of this sun catcher activity. So we're going to take one of those pieces and peel the backing off and then lay down our cardboard or white paper cutout in whatever shape we want. The idea is to have a border but also have that sort of swirly design or something like it inside as well. Now we're going to take our sheets of cellophane, and again, this is meant to be inspired by the heart of Te Fiti, so we're using blue and green, but this is the sort of activity that you can easily translate to all sorts of other themes by using different colors. Like I said, this is sticky, so be careful. But what we're going to do is kind of just snip the cellophane into little bits and pieces, and then my kiddo is going to lay all those bits and pieces down inside our oval shape, sort of mosaic style. Once he's done and he likes the design he's made, we're going to take that second sheet of contact paper, peel off the backing, and kind of sandwich it sticky side down over our work here to seal it in and kind of protect it. You can then cut off the excess. I'd leave a little bit of a frame around it. We didn't have to do as much because since there were some empty spaces between the cellophane, that kind of helped stick the 2 sticky sides together. But you might want, like I said, a bigger rim around just to make sure that it doesn't unpeel or unstick. And voila, you have a lovely sun catcher. You can use a hole puncher at the top to make a little hole and use some string or like some ribbon maybe and hang it up by a window, hang it outside if it's not too humid where you're at. But it's so lovely, it's so pretty to look at, and my son had a really good time making this with me. Alright my friends, that's going to do it for our Moana Disney homeschool theme. If there's one thing I've learned about my son in the last few months that we've been doing these Disney homeschool themes is that he really likes art. He's always been very sensory defensive, so any art activity that we've done while he was younger usually was met with a little bit of pushback, but it seems like lately the more we do them, the more excited he is to do them, and that's really exciting for me. We loved the movie, of course. The movie is absolutely epic. The soundtrack is phenomenal. It gets stuck in your head for days. I'm still singing How Far I'll Go pretty much all over the house at random intervals of the day. That recipe, by the way, I know that Moana is not Hawaiian, but I don't think that the restaurant Ohana is necessarily trying to be Hawaiian either. It just felt like it fit a vibe, so that's why we chose the recipes that we did. And let me tell y'all, those noodles, mwah, I am not a fan of ginger at all. And I religiously almost avoid peanuts in cooking because I feel like the only reason that I would ever have peanuts on my plate is if I'm having peanut butter with apples or peanut butter with chocolate. I'm not a fan of savory peanut dishes, but these noodles were so good. The chicken was a great accompaniment to it. And there was a lot of pouring, which my son was really into. They were really easy recipes for me as the parent to prepare and really easy for me to get my son involved in helping me prepare it, so win-win. Overall, we loved this theme. We had a lot of fun with it, and I think that you and your kiddos will too. As always, I want to remind you that there is a Pinterest board that pertains to each of these themes. I have it linked in the description box of this video. And so if you check that out, you're going to see the recipes that we did for this video. You're going to see the activities we did as well, and also loads and loads of other things that are relevant to the theme, but that we didn't get a chance to show you. And even though this theme is done for us, I do still keep my eyes peeled on Pinterest, so if anything relevant comes up, I continue to add it to the boards. So the boards are constantly evolving, constantly changing, and I do my best to always add things that are suitable for kiddos of all ages and all abilities. So make sure you check back often. If you do any of these activities with your kiddos, I would love for you to come back and let me know how they worked out for you. Or you can take a photo or video and tag me on Instagram. I would love to see these activities in action with other families. I want to thank you all so much for watching this video. I really hope you enjoyed it. And if you did, I hope you'll please give it a big thumbs up. I'd also love it if you would subscribe and click that notification bell because I post at least 3 times a week and I wouldn't want you to miss a minute. Thanks so much again for watching. Bye!